Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name's Jackie. And let's get started. For DIY number 1, I'm taking 2 sets of these burner covers from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to adhere them with this super glue epoxy. And so all I'm going to do is open it up, remove the little plastic piece with scissors. And I'm just going to mix it right on the surface. So I'm going to press and allow some of it to come out. And then with my bamboo skewer, I will mix it up right on the surface itself. That way I'm skipping one whole step and not making a big mess. So here I'm just going to attach these burner covers back to back like this. And I'll do the same with the larger set until they both look like this. So they're just back to back. So now I'm going to allow them to dry overnight and cure. And now I'm going to go in with some of these wooden beads from the Dollar Tree, and these were gifted to me by a fantastic subscriber, and I'm so happy to use them for this project. So all I'm going to do is take these beads and wrap it around the sides of these burner covers and try to figure out how much of the string I'm going to need, the jute twine, and snip off the excess, and also remove any excess beads that are in the way, because I'm going to need to do a good double knot to secure them well. So here I'm just going to tie them up as tight as I can and make my double knot and snip off the excess twine like this. And once the wooden beads are put in place, I'm going to very gently pull up the strand of beads and add a bead of glue in the center of the 2 burner covers. And I'm going to adhere these beads onto that glue. I want to make sure these beads are not going to be spinning around or jiggling around or whatever beads do. I don't know. So here I'm just going to go all the way around, and I'll do this to both. So now here I'm taking a piece of parchment paper, and I'm going to fold it in this manner to create or to find the center point of these burner covers. When I make tier trays, there's usually some indication on the plate or the charger or whatever piece I'm going to use for the tray. There's usually some kind of markings that gives me an idea where the center is, but not with these burner covers. There's no markings at all. So I'm just doing this to create the center point, to try to find the center point so I can have my tier tray nice and even and looking pretty. So here I'm folding it in half. Now I know where the center is, and I'm just going to create a little dot with my Sharpie. And I do this to the second one as well, the smaller one, because I was going to do a 3-tiered tier tray, but then I just decided to do just 2 tiers. So disregard this other step here, but I'm just showing it to you just to review how to find the center point to a circle. Because once you have these folded, you can figure out where the center is. So like this. And now I'm taking one of these ceramic vases from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to adhere this vase to these sets of burner covers with some E6000, and I do a little bit of hot glue on the 2 opposite ends. And so now I can place it in the center perfectly, now that I know where the center point is. And now I'll do the same to the top part. I'll add some E6000 for that long-lasting hold, and then the hot glue for the immediate hold. So a little bit of glue here, a little bit of glue here, and then add my top part to it until it looks like this. Look how cute! Okay, so now I'm going to take this Rust-Oleum paint, and it's in the color brown, and I'm going to paint it outside, do a full coverage like this. And now I'm going to go in with some of the Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster, and with my chippy brush, my chunky chippy brush from the Dollar Tree, I'm going to dry brush this whole piece. Now here it looks like I'm going a little bit too strong, too heavy, but I end up remedying it with a little bit of the Waverly chalk paint in the color truffle. So later on you'll see that it's more toned down. It's not so heavy as this is showing. But yeah, this got a little heavy But you know, there's always ways to remedy things. And so I'll do a dry brush on this whole piece, on the beads, on the rim, on the inside, on the edges, the whole thing, until it looks like this. And this gingerbread tier tray is basically done, and we'll get a better look at it at the final reveal. So now this video is a part of the minis challenge, and the theme is Thanksgiving, Christmas, or winter, and it is hosted by Corie or crafted by Corie, and we're to create 3 minis or tier trays. And with this challenge, there's a playlist included, so when you're done watching my video, please head on over to my description box and follow the link and watch the playlist. So DIY number 2, I'm taking one of these little, they're called a breadboard by the Dollar Tree, but it looks like a cutting board to me. So I'm going to take this little cutting board and I'm going to go in with this Waverly varnish. And so I'm doing this because this is going to be a chalk couture project. I am now a chalk couture designer, and this is my first little official chalk couture project on film in a video. So I'm normally supposed to be using a wax to seal any kind of porous surface, but since I don't have my wax yet and I can't wait, I'm impatient, I went in with the Waverly varnish. So now that it's nice and dry, I did 2 coats. Here I'm going to do the little gingerbread man that's in my little minis pack, and I'm just going to remove it from the backing and put it on my fuzzy cloth a good 3-4 times to help get rid of some of the excess stickiness. This is the process. So in here, now I'm going to add my transfer onto my little wooden piece, my little cutting board, and I'm going to go in with a couple of colors. I don't have all the colors that I need just yet, but I'm going to use this orange peel color, and I'm going to add a little bit to this dish, and then I'll add a little bit of the shimmering gold color. So yeah, if you don't have the color you need, mix up your own color. Yeah, why not? So here's the shimmering gold, and I'll add that on there. This much, just a tiny little bit. This chalk paste goes a long way. So here I'm just going to mix it up with my little squeegee like this. Get a good mix. And now it's time to do the chalking. So I'm just taking the chalk paste and just placing it on the transfer, doing a good coverage, covering the whole little gingerbread man from head to toe, scraping off the excess because we can reuse the excess. And now we can remove the transfer, and look at that. Oh my goodness, so adorable. And add your transfer to a little thing of water so it won't dry up. But look how cute. Oh my goodness. So now I wanted to put on there Merry Christmas. And so this transfer has the Merry Christmas on it. It also has some trees, but I'm going to just use the Merry Christmas on it. So again, I'm putting this on the fuzzing cloth to remove any of the excess stickiness. And of course, my little gingerbread man is dry at this point. So I'm going to place this transfer to where it just Mary will be revealed. And with some painter's tape, I will cover up anything that I do not want to have the chalk touch and be transferred onto my project. And now I'm going to go in with a candy red, and this stuff is so strong. Oh my goodness, it's so strong. And I'm just going to add a little bit to my squeegee, and I'm just going to very carefully just place it on the word Mary. So as you can see here, I'm doing a really good coverage, making sure all the letters and the whole word is covered. And now removing the transfer tape. Look at that, Mary. So now I'm going to rinse it off and now place Christmas underneath the little gingerbread man. And I'll do the same thing. Take some of that red, place it on my little squeegee, and just rub it on. Rub it on the whole piece that says Christmas. Like this. Yes, this stuff is so easy to do, and it's so much fun. I'll add my store link in my description box in case you're interested in either becoming a designer or just buying some transfers and some chalk paste and trying it out for yourself. Yeah. I'll add that link in my description box. But look at this, it's so easy, and my goodness, the outcome is beautiful. So now it's time to remove the transfer, and here we go. Ta-da! Beautiful. So now I'm going to go in with some of this candy cane ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to create a little bow, just a real quick little bow, and this will be a part of my embellishments. You guys know I love to do my embellishments. So here I'm just nipping off the excess, and I do dovetail both ends like this. And now I just add a little dab of glue on the back and adhere it to the base of my little handle. Look how cute. And I had this little embellishment left over from last Christmas. It's just a little piece of evergreen with a couple little pieces of berries. And I'm snipping off the excess and giving it a little trim. It's a little too fuzzy for me, so I'm just going to give it a little trim, make it look a little bit more dainty and a little bit more high-end. And after his little haircut, then I'll add a little bit of glue to the back and place this on the center of my bow. Look how adorable! So this one is done. For DIY number 3, I'm taking these cute wooden ornaments from the Dollar Tree, and I'm taking them apart, removing the lights and everything. And I've done these before for another project, but I thought they were so cute, I have to do them again, especially with this little gingerbread house. Really cute. It fits in my gingerbread theme. So I'm going to paint them all in the color Nutmeg by Apple Barrel, and I'll just paint them up like this. And now that they're all painted, I'm going to actually put them back together because I just wanted to give them a full paint job, full coverage paint job. So I'm just going to add some hot glue where the pieces were joined together before, and I'm just going to adhere them and put them back the way they were, but at least now they're fully covered. So I'll do the little house, and I'm going to do this little reindeer. And I'm going to call this reindeer Rudolph because I'm going to give him a little red nose. I think he'll be so cute with a little red nose. So here I'm just taking the glue and I'm going to adhere them back together the way they were. Gives them a little bit more stability to stand on their own. So now I'm going to go in with this Apple Barrel paint in the color white. And I'm just going to do some detail painting with this. I'm going to paint the roof line of the gingerbread house in the white, and the sides of the gingerbread house, and around the windows and the inside of the windows, and then the very bottom, the very base of this house. And I'll do the same kind of outlining for the little reindeer as well. I'll go all the way around his whole little body, and then the whole area of the antlers, I'll paint those white as well. And now I'm going to go in with this puffy paint that I found at the Dollar Tree. It's a 3D and it's actually for fabric, but I figured, hey, if it's 3D and if it's going to be puffy, it's going to be perfect for my little gingerbread house. So I'm just going to add it on here to the little roof line and to the base where it'll look like a snowbank, and also to the antlers of little Rudolph. And I don't show it, but I did add a little bow on him, give him a little bit of embellishments. Okay, on to DIY number 4 and my last DIY of this video. So for this DIY, I am taking 2 of these foam rollers, hair rollers from the Dollar Tree, and I'm taking some peppermint stripe fabric, and I'm going to kind of guesstimate how much I'm going to need. You can very easily measure this if you need to, but I don't know, I always like to just guesstimate, and I don't know, it's just how I am. Maybe because my mother was a seamstress, I don't know. But here I'm just cutting a piece that I think I'm going to need and cutting it in half so I have enough for both of these little rollers like this. And we are going to be making little candy canes with these. So here, after I cut them in half, then I'm going to take one, put a bead of glue in the very center of this piece of fabric. I'm going to add the little foam curler on top, and then I'm going to add some more glue on one end, nice long bead of glue, and I'm going to roll it onto the fabric, and I'm going to massage the glue in, that way it won't be bulky. And now I'll do the same thing to the other side. I'll add a bead of glue down the side of the piece of fabric, and I'll roll this piece onto that part of the glue until the other end is nice and secure on there as well. And so now it can be formed to whatever candy cane shape you'd like. And that is it. Now it's time for the final reveal of my little gingerbread tier tray. Well, I'd like to take a moment and thank Corie over at Crafted by Corie for hosting this monthly challenge. I always enjoy participating in it. It's one of my favorites. And please head on over to my description box and follow the link to the playlist. There's bound to be lots of inspiration to be had for sure. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And until my next video, stay healthy, safe, and strong. And have a great, great day. Bye-bye.